Hey guys, this is Frozen Wish Stews here, and welcome back to another video. And today, I'm going to be reflecting on the movies that have come out this year. So, since we are nearing the end of 2024, well, I had to do this. Well, yes, I've got my best movies of the list coming, and there were a lot of movies that I really liked up to the point where I I still need some time to reevaluate some of the movies that I consider among my favorites of the year. So I've decided to do the worst list first because, at the very least, I think the worst list I am already prepared for it, and plus the fact that I highly doubt I'll see another movie that will be added to the worst list. I think I've already seen enough to actually go forward with this. The top 10 worst movies of 2024. You know, besides the fact that 2023 had the best movie of the decade and no other movies this year like matched the best movie of 2023. This year, sorry, the bad movies that came out this year is another reason why I prefer 2023 over 2024. Because all the stinkers that I've seen, I had to endure in 2020 this year. All the stinkers that I had to endure in 2023 are harmless in comparison to all the steaming piles of hot garbage I've seen this year. Oh boy. And yeah, and there was one specific category of films that especially grinded my gears, and that is kids movies. Like, yeah, sure, my favorite movie of the year is a family movie, as you can all imagine, but the bad animated movies of this year overshadowed the good ones, and it's kind of a poor shame because 2023 was my favorite year for animation. So I thought that we were through with just shitty years for animation after 2023, but nope, yeah. It's just a poor shame that, kids' movies these days. Oh man, so yeah. Most of these movies, half of the movies on this list will be family movies, so please don't hate me for this. So yeah, without further ado, if you want to know what my worst movies of the year list are, then just keep watching. First, let's start off with 5 dishonorable mentions. And my dishonorable mentions are Woody Woodpecker Goes to Camp, Founders Day, Ricky Stanicki, Unfrosted, and last but not least, the best Christmas pageant ever, which I think is which is my pick for the most overrated movie of 2024. Well, at least it's lucky enough to miss the list. At number 10, Imaginary. Say what you want about John Krasinski's If, but that movie is at least leagues and bounds better than this teddy bear shit. There is no way in hell you would just watch both movies and then just say I prefer Imaginary over If. There's no fucking way. This movie is just painful to sit through. Ever since I saw the trailer for this in cinemas, in front of the beekeeper, I knew that this movie was going to be shit. I actually didn't watch the trailer when it came out on YouTube because I just didn't care. But yeah, I got this trailer in front of Beekeeper, and it does look like pure shit. And also this is from the same director as Fantasy Island. Okay, I will give it this at the very least. It's a masterpiece in comparison to Fantasy Island. But that's not saying much. My goodness, this movie was so painful to sit through. And not because of the fact that it's scary. Oh, but what's so scary about this? Like, even the concept is so dumb. So apparently, it's if you have never heard of this film before, it's basically about this teddy bear who's evil, and apparently this teddy bear wants to kill his own owner because the owner does not spend more time with the teddy bear. What kind of a fucking concept is that? And it is just beyond me. Like, it is so boring. Like, seriously. I mean, honestly, this concept, this premise is so bad that honestly, I'd rather watch. I'd rather watch movies with a horror with a concept of childhood icons being turned into serial killers than movies about children's toys being turned into serial killers. I mean, the characters were stupid. There were no good performances. This is one of the slowest pacing I have ever seen in any movie, period. And the scares were so fucking cheap. Like, seriously, this movie is one of those representations of everything wrong with horror. And, yeah, I can see why people call horror a bad genre nowadays. It's because of fucking Blumhouse. But to me personally, well, at the very least, I watch good horror movies, especially A24 horror. That's why I like horror. But I mean, I bet that people who say horror is the worst genre only watch the ones from Blumhouse or even Screen Gems. Yeah, this movie is just atrocious in every single way possible. Yeah, and yeah, this year was such a weak year for horror movies. Well, not bad, but because at least there are some incredible horror movies which I will get to in my best movies of the year list. Okay, moving on. At number 9, the worst comic book movie of this year, Hellboy the Crooked Man. Uh, I mean, for yeah, I think we can all agree that 2024 was such an underwhelming year for comic book movies. Do I think it's the worst year ever for comic book films? Not really. That would 2007 would be my least favorite year for comic book movies, simply due to the fact that that year didn't really have any like truly great, like not a single truly great comic book movies that came out this year. At least not a single truly great comic book movie came out in that year, 2007. But at the very least, this year we did have one movie that was positive comic book movie that people loved, which is Deadpool and Wolverine. Yeah, obviously the best comic book film of the year, and I actually do defend Joker fully and do Kraven the Hunter and Venom the Last Dance. I actually defend those, but then we got the severely disappointing Madam Web, the disgraceful reboot that is The Crow. But say what you want about Venom Last Dance. Say what you want about Kraven the Hunter. Say what you want about Madam Web. Heck, say what you want about The Crow. But none of them compare to the sheer atrocity that Hellboy the Crooked Man is. I mean, who even asked for a Hellboy reboot? Like, why can't we ever get a Hellboy 3 from Guillermo del Toro? Why are we continuing to have these pointless Hellboy reboots? But oh man, this movie is even worse than Hellboy 2019. Yes, I repeat, I think Hellboy 2019 is better than this steaming pile of shit. Because at least Hellboy 2019 felt like a real movie. You can feel the expense that this movie, that the budget was spent on. And I will say this, David Harbour did fine as Hellboy. Yes, I will give it that. Like, I don't know if it's enough to save the movie, but oh fucking well. Hellboy the Crooked Man, this movie is on nothing. Okay, yes, I will say this. At least it tries to do something different. I mean, Hellboy 2019 was just basically a regular remake that did absolutely nothing. This one tried to have a different take on Hellboy, but it just fails in every single way possible. Every, like, sense of the word. Like, seriously. Like, what does another attempt at rebooting Hellboy have to offer, you may ask? Well, this basically tries to be the Batman. I kid you not. This is basically the Batman 2.0. Like, how is it like the Batman, you may ask? Well, you know how, the Batman would throw the action, Batman would basically make action a subgenre and have it be a detective story and make it, like, closer to the comics. Well, it's kind of similar in the case of Hellboy. This one, they make it like the comics where they They go more the horror route of this, but here's the problem. It's so fucking cheap. Like, seriously, it is cheap and lazy as hell. Why would you want to make a low budgeted Hellboy movie? Like, Hellboy is he's already a big name. He deserves a bigger budget, not this. And yeah, this movie I can't even take this seriously because it tries way too hard to be grounded, but it just comes off as just goofy that it's just trying to flex its muscles. Oh, we can make a grounded Hellboy movie, and they're going to like it. But in reality, yeah, this movie manages to be like so dumb just so it can disguise itself as brilliant when it is not. We all know this. And this iteration of the character of Hellboy, oh my goodness, like seriously, his design is so ugly. All the supporting characters were a bunch of nobodies, and it doesn't help either that I barely know any of these actors. Seriously, and also, you wanna know what kind of horror shit they pull off in this film? Yes, guys, it's a freaking Exorcist movie. Really? Exorcist? Like, I mean, if it was a vampire movie, it would make a lot more sense. Although that would be a Blade ripoff, it, but by making a superhero Exorcist movie, I mean, that's too much. I mean, you're trying to be different, but I mean, a real movie would actually do that, right? But this doesn't even qualify as a real movie. Oh, and by the way, how the fuck are people being so generous as one? Like, people not only share up like this, but they consider this as the second best comic book film of the year. Second only behind Deadpool Wolverine. I'm sorry, but no, it's not. Like, how? I mean, I'm sorry, but I don't get it. But fuck it, moving on. At number 8, Hit Pig. Oh, sorry, more like Shit Pig. Now, okay, I will admit it. I don't think, on reflection, guys, I think I hated this film a little too much. I don't think this movie is as bad as I said in an extreme rant. In fact, I don't think it even is extreme rant worthy. I would probably title this a regular rant. Yeah, because at the very least, it is harmless in comparison to the top 7. But that doesn't change the fact that Hit Pig sucks. I think that the fact that the people, even animation fans, did not hear about this and this film flew under the radar, actually is why I hate this film less. But yeah, but that doesn't change the fact that there's actually absolutely nothing to like about this. This is just a movie that's absolutely made for nobody. It's a movie that's just so tediously boring. You can see why not even the animation community actually even bothered though checking out this one. I only watched this one because I just wanted to roast the shit out of kids movies because apparently because of how evil the physical media community is, and pretty much of their biggest fandom is animation. I just wanted to piss off the physical media community some more by roasting the shit out of bad animated films. But this is probably the most tolerable bad kids movies. Oh well, besides Woody Woodpecker, that Woody Woodpecker movie that I listed as a dishonorable mention. Yeah, I mean, at least I will say is, it's not the worst story ever. I mean, at least the story, it's not the worst. But you want to know why this film sucks? 1, it's boring. 2, the animation is Arctic Dogs level bad. In fact, this is the Arctic Dogs of the decade. 3, the characters are annoying. 4, the voice acting sucks, especially from Jacob Sudeikis. 5, this is probably the dumbest villain plan I have ever seen. I don't even want to bother explaining it, but just go watch my extreme rant in this one, which, again, it's not extreme rant worthy thinking about it. And also, but the worst thing of this movie is that the humor. I mean, it's a new low for kids movie humor. I swear to God, this movie. I mean, it's just pop culture references after pop culture references after pop culture references, and all that shit. And yeah. So yeah, I just don't care. After I upload this video, I think I will forget about this film. Right. It's number 7, the worst horror movie of the year. Afraid. Oh, man. Like, yeah, Sony, man. Like, what the fuck are we even doing here? I mean, 2024 is the 100th anniversary of Sony. And this is how they fuck up, yeah. I mean, seriously, I have a feeling that the 100th anniversary celebration of Sony is literally the embodiment of people complaining about Disney's 100th anniversary. But yeah, I think that Disney's 100th anniversary celebration is far better than others make it out to be. I mean, at least you got underrated gems like Elemental Wish and even the greatest short film of all time, Once Upon a Studio. But yeah, Sony is way worse than them because not only was this year flooded with the Sony Venomverse films, even though I liked Venom and Venom 3 and Craven, most of the Sony films, oh man, they're terrible. And Afraid is Afraid is just one of the cherries on top to bad Sony films. Like even Madam Web is better. Yes, guys. Spoiler alert, no, Madam Web will not be on this list. So yeah, I just want to make that clear. But seriously, honestly, this movie wasn't even on my radar. I just didn't care about this one. But I only watched it because a friend of mine watched it. A close friend of mine watched it, and yeah. Oh man, this movie is so dull, so boring, and it's barely even a horror film. Like seriously, it's a film that is 80 fucking minutes long, and you make it this boring. Oh boy. And the story is a Megan ripoff. Yeah, plagiarize your own movies much, Blumhouse. And why is Hollywood so obsessed with preaching this message of AI sucks, AI is bad? Well, at least we're about to get what I think will be the best AI movie yet, The Companion, this January. But just due to the fact that Hollywood just needs to stop preaching these AI messages. And by the way, you're actually kind of a hypocrite, Hollywood, because you also do write mix storylines that feel like they were written by AI. No, not Wish or Ghosted. No, not those movies. I don't think they're AI movies. And yeah, and also there's just the dialogue is so cringy, man. And yeah, the script feels like it's written by AI. So this makes Hollywood even more of a hypocrite because you're trying to say the message of AI is bad, yet you yourself are using AI to write the movie with a message you want to send. Like, what the fuck? Yeah, the dialogue is so cringy. I mean, it's just basically the characters just say, "I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you." Oh, shut up! That's not even human. There's a scene in the film where they mock the LGBT community and treat it as if it's left. Not as offensive as Dix the musical, but yeah, and also there's a reference to COVID because apparently Sony forgot that we're passed through the COVID era. Oh, worst of all, Sony referenced the Emoji Movie. Oh, Sony, fuck you for referencing the Emoji Movie. Not only that, but the AI, quote unquote AI mother, literally made the kids watch the Emoji Movie for movie night, and it was like, oh, it's so good, guys. It's educational. Ha 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 ha. Yeah, that's actually why I did my rant on the Emoji Movie back in September, all because of this movie that fucking had the audacity to reference the Emoji Movie. Yeah, seriously, and it was even in the beginning of the film. Why? Yeah. I don't know how the fuck this movie even managed to get a theatrical release. That it doesn't even deserve like theaters. It felt like a fucking Netflix out of all things. At number six, Pullman, the worst adult movie of 2024. And yes, guys, I said it. The worst adult movie of 2024 is only my sixth worst movie of the year. Yep, goes to show how much Hollywood has been shitting on their kids this year. Because if every single movie in my top five are all fucking kids films. But yeah, Pullman is so bad. Maybe the worst comedy movie I have ever seen. Yes, I would go that far. Chris Pine, what the fuck were you thinking? This is your follow-up to your best and most underrated role, Wish. Why? I mean, and for those of you who say King Magnifico is the worst Chris Pine role ever, well, I demand you owe him an apology. Because once you see how bad, how insufferably atrocious Pullman is, you would want to owe King Magnifico an apology. Yeah, best Chris Pine role, King Magnifico from Wish. Worst Chris Pine role. Who the fuck is the main character's name again? I forgot. But yeah, this movie is his worst role. And Chris Pine also directed this film. Oh man. Yeah, I mean, A-list celebrities directing movies. Yeah, that's been a thing lately. But same way one about Blink Twice, but at least Zoe Kravitz, at least you can tell that she actually is director worthy. She actually put her heart and soul into directing Blink Twice. That she really knocked it out of the park with her just directing Blink Twice. But Chris Pine, no, he does not. He is not a director. He should not be honestly, if I was the CEO of Hollywood, I would fucking tell Chris Pine, no, Chris Pine, you are not allowed to direct a movie again. I swear to God, I will. If Chris Pine ever directs another movie again, I am not going to watch it, unless if it's a blockbuster. Then yeah, I'll give it a try. Once upon a time when I was little, Chris Pine used to be one of my favorite actors of all time. Mainly because of just how much back then Chris Pine would actually choose such truly great films. Like every Chris Pine movie I watched are all so great that it was hard for me to imagine that he'd actually be in a bad movie and just do some wrong. But now, yeah, Chris Pine has been in just so many bad movies lately. It's just embarrassing. Okay, well, I will admit that the first two acts are harmless. If the whole movie was just the first two acts, then this movie probably wouldn't have been on the list. It's nothing more than just a boring movie. Just a boring-ass movie with absolutely nothing going on. Nothing going on, and it's just wasting a bunch of good actors like Annette Bening, Danny DeVito, Wanda Wise, Jennifer Jason Leigh, and Clancy Brown, John Artist. And this is what you do to them. And apparently, Ariana DeBose made a cameo in this. I mean, but I don't remember if she even did. But I don't know. But Ariana DeBose would have actually gave, I think a bigger and better Ariana DeBose contribution to this would have at least made this movie get off the list. But the thing is, guys, I don't even fucking remember her. I know that my friend said that she did cameos, so and I think she did, but I just don't remember anything about it. Seriously. But yeah. But you want to know why this movie is high on the list? What exactly made this movie quite high on the list? Oh, I'll tell you what it is. It's the fucking third act of the film. Oh, that fucking third act. That just pissed me off so much. It made me sick. Why exactly happened in the third act, you may ask? Oh, I'll tell you what. The villain of the film, the main villain, I kid you not, he wants to have a sexual affair and he wants to marry his own daughter. Yes, yep. A father and a daughter want to marry each other. Excuse me for a sec. I'm sorry, but whoever the fuck thought that was an acceptable idea to begin with, I mean, you are fucking high, you are on drugs, you should get fucking help. Because whose right mind, whose sick, twisted mind thought that a father and a daughter getting married is a good idea? Nobody else is even angry about this. Why? Like this, it's fucking incest. It's disgusting. Why are you people as a Puma apparently don't address that for some reason. Like, so you're saying it's not that bad, it's harmless? I'm sorry, but if you think that it's fine, then you are a fucking pedophile. And yeah, I'm sorry, but yeah, if anyone thinks even of an idea of parents and child getting married to each other, you should go to freaking jail for that. Yeah. But at the very least, though, yeah, it's better than the shitty kids movies that I'm about to talk about on the top 5. At number 5, Mufasa the Lion King. One of the most anti-Disney movies I have ever seen in my life. Holy hell, this movie is so pissed me off so much. And the fact that people are being so generous in this one and are saying it's better than films like Wish and Moana 2. Yeah, it just made me despise this even more than it is. Yeah, oh my goodness. This movie, it is right up there with Peter Pan and Wendy and Robert Zemeckis' Pinocchio as some of the absolute worst Disney movies I have ever seen. And worst Disney live action remakes I have ever seen in my life. If I were to do a top 10, if I were to do a top 10 that worst Disney movies of all time, this will 1,000,000% get spot on that list. Shout out to my good friend Harry Thomas Pictures. He calls this his worst movie of all time. Like, I totally see why. Well, Harry, at least you'll think before having this in the top 5. I'm sure Harry Thomas will be happy for that. But yeah, Mufasa the Lion King is just this. Oh my! I can't even find the right words to describe how bad this is. How fucking atrocious it is. Like, but simply put, it's worse than 2019's Lion King because at least it doesn't. At least I think the idea of just making a copy paste of the original is harmless in comparison to fucking retconning the Lion King. I mean, Scar and Mufasa being biological brothers. Mufasa apparently being the reason why Scar is evil because apparently Scar did one bad thing. He apologized to Mufasa. He sacrificed his life to save Mufasa. And apparently Mufasa's like, nah, fuck you, Scar. Get out of here. Like, yeah, you're bad. I hate you now, Mufasa. We're no longer brothers. Like, fuck you, Mufasa. Like, and this felt more like a Scar movie than a Mufasa movie. Like, seriously. And Kairos, yeah, oh my goodness, one of the worst villains ever. And Matt Mikkelsen's worst role yet. And the songs from Lin-Manuel Miranda. Oh man, Lin, I expected more from you. Like, okay, I will say this though. Some of the songs are not offensive. They're more just forgettable, harmless. Sorry. Yeah, there's something out here that's like making me like I don't know, like what the fuck, Okay, where was I? Yeah, some of these songs are just rather forgettable at best, but not harmful. But then you got songs like, I always wanted a brother, and bye bye, like, oh, like, and those two songs are so annoying. Oh, and Timon and Pumbaa, honestly, they've become the minions of Disney. They become the Jar Jar Binks of Disney. Why? Yeah. So yeah, man, this movie just. There's nothing I like about this one. Not even the visuals can save this atrocious film. Yeah, fuck it. I'm done talking about this one. And seriously, and this movie, I wish people would hate this movie more. Like, why can't it get just as much hate as The Lion King 2019? Seriously. I was gonna say something else, but you know what? Fuck it. Moving on. At number 4, And number 4, Harold and the Purple Crayon. Oh, as I would like to call it, Harold and the Green Crayon. Why green, you may ask? Because green means vomit. And I just want to vomit all over this movie. Blah, 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 blah. Ugh. Oh my goodness. This is the worst Sony movie of the year. This movie is like pretty much... this movie is basically like what Everything Wish is. But at least you have to admit it. Wish is objectively better than this film on all accounts. This is the embodiment of people getting angry at Wish for being the movie that celebrates their 10th anniversary, 100th anniversary. Well, to me, it's Harold and the Purple Crayon, the movie that is an example of how not to celebrate your 100th anniversary. Harold and the Purple Crayon is so bad. This is the worst Sony movie I've seen since the Emoji Movie and Hotel Transylvania Transformania. Yes, guys, this is my third worst movie this is my third worst Sony movie of all time. And also the worst live action Sony Pictures Animation film ever. Like, seriously, I would rather watch the Peter Rabbit Zoology than this. Heck, I would rather watch the live action Smurfs movies over this one. Seriously. This movie is the death of Zachary Levi's, yeah. Okay, what I will say is, though, The Unbreakable Boy looks harmless. At least. I will give it that. I'll give The Unbreakable Boy a chance. I mean, no, I was like, now... I mean, there wasn't really a part of me that was expecting it to suck, but I will say this. At least in The Unbreakable Boy, Zachary Levi at least looks like he's acting like a real man for once. So that's why I'll give The Unbreakable Boy a watch. Even if it's nowhere near my most anticipated movies of next year. But in this film, Zachary Levi is a fucking man-child in this all the way through. He's a fucking 40-year-old, yet he acts like a fucking kid. It's embarrassing. Like... He's pretty much like the Andrew Ditch of movies. Yeah, I'm comparing Harold to Andrew Ditch. Who's Andrew Ditch, you may ask? Well, he's basically a 40-year-old man, a YouTuber. He's like a 40-year-old man who acts like a baby. And he apparently wears diapers, and I don't know. Just watch Divancello's video about him, and you'll see what I mean. Well, yeah, but this movie is just boring. Like, apparently kids were getting bored by this. Oh, and apparently Sony, yeah. Sony clearly wanted this movie to flop. You know it's bad when this movie comes out a week after Deadpool Wolverine. And people are still seeing Deadpool Wolverine instead. Good thing people chose this Deadpool Wolverine over this one. If there is like anybody in this universe that would actually would actually be more interested in Harold and the Purple Crayon and Deadpool Wolverine, then your mind is fucked. And you need help. And seriously, it's not only Zachary Levi. Everybody here is horrible. I said the Porcupine was the worst character in the film. Actually, I did that back. Harold himself is the worst character in the film. And just Zachary Levi's ego is all in this one. Same way you know about Zachary Levi in Shazam Fear of the Gods. But yeah, give me Fury of the Gods any day over this abomination of the film. And Carlos Saldana, you were the same director as the classic Ice Age. What happened? Like, is this what your career has gone to after the shutting down of Blue Sky? Come on, man. And you wanna know the thing that offended me the most about this one? It's a fucking Barbie ripoff. Yes, guys, it's a Barbie ripoff. Like, how, you may ask? Well, it's about the main character who questions his existence, so he must go into the real world to find answers to where exactly he came from. And along the way, he meets Gloria. Oh, sorry, I meant to say Zoe Deschanel's character, and a gender swap version of Sasha. And also this movie has a forced-in twist villain because apparently this movie needs one when it doesn't need a twist villain. Like, god damn it. This is the worst live-action movie of the year. Yes, fourth worst movie of the year is live-action. which means that the top three are animated. Yeah. At number three, Saving Bikini Bottom, the Sandy Cheeks movie. Uh, um, I am now. Yes, guys, I'm a huge SpongeBob fan. I love SpongeBob, especially the good episodes. SpongeBob in general, despite how bad despite how atrocious some episodes are, SpongeBob is my favorite. It doesn't change the fact that SpongeBob is my favorite animated show of all time. Why, you may ask? Because it's a show that's just so rewatchable and worth talking about and worth thinking about. Heck, I watch a lot of these YouTube React videos where these those YouTubers who would like watch something for content like in front of you and react to it. Yeah, I watched like them react to SpongeBob. SpongeBob is something that means a lot to me. But as a SpongeBob fan myself, God, I am so heartbroken by what SpongeBob has become. It is just sad, man. Like, it's sad to see like SpongeBob actually go downhill, and that is all because Nickelodeon clearly hates Steven Hillenburg. Did Nickelodeon heartlessly celebrate Steven Hillenburg's death and decided, hey, we have all the freedom to ruin SpongeBob now? Because, apparently season 14 is I gave up on SpongeBob after season 12. I just don't, not that they're like season 7 bad, but I just don't care anymore about like the newer episode of SpongeBob. I just don't give a shit. And yeah, also we got some absolute garbage like Sponge on the Run. No, like SpongeBob the third movie, which the more I think about it, the more I hate it. And yes, guys, I will rant on that movie next year when I pretty much build up to the fourth SpongeBob movie, which, yeah. By the way, and SpongeBob movie, The Search for SquarePants, is one of my least anticipated movies of next year. Now, yeah, I am not excited for Search for SquarePants at all. So I may sound like a SpongeBob hater to you. You want to know why? It's because of this film right here. Saving Bikini Bottom, the Sandy Cheeks movie, is a reason why I'm harsh on SpongeBob now. Because it just killed any hope I have for new SpongeBob. At least I still go back to the old SpongeBob. But this movie broke me as a SpongeBob fan. It tore me to a million pieces. I hate this movie so much. I just, like, seriously, whoever thought that this was acceptable to make is, seriously. Now, Sandy Cheeks is my favorite SpongeBob character. You could have at least made a good movie out of this. And you want to know how to make a good movie out of a Sandy Cheeks spin-off? Well, I got two answers for you. One, make it about the origin story of Sandy. Origin story of Sandy and how she came into Bikini Bottom. And two, don't include SpongeBob in this. But no, you had those two things that would have made this movie good are all thrown in the trash. And despite this being titled Sandy Cheeks, no, this still felt like it was still basically about SpongeBob. What the fuck? That is a disrespectful to my favorite SpongeBob character. By just giving SpongeBob more of the spotlight than Sandy Cheeks is just embarrassing. And the animation sucks ass. The animation is so ugly to look at. And the story is stupid, and it's basically your typical, I gotta say Bikini Bottom from live action world. And why the fuck are they even live action humans? Why the fuck are there just live action humans in this one? Like, it's seriously, the dialogue in this one they're just so cringy. Like, especially with two certain lines that just made me go, what? Like, first one being, something about, how can I stream on demand? I can't, without Bikini Bottom, I can't stream on demand. And how dare you join the dark side of science, you evil villain? Like, yeah, this is one of those films where it's clearly written by AI. Yeah, even if I don't like that AI those made by AI accusations, Saving Bikini Bottom is the embodiment of of basically AI movies because it just feels like one. And yeah, the villain of the film is just yeah. I mean, Tsunami like that that big wobbly like head of hers inside a tiny baby like robot body. Blah, blah, blah. Oh my goodness, that just made me sick to my stomach. And yeah, and oh yeah, and also the I kid you not, guys, the main antagonists of this film are marine biologists, and Steven Hillenburg, the creator of SpongeBob, is a marine biologist. So if the marine biologists like want to like capture the bikini bottom citizens, like honestly, a certain YouTuber actually made a good point out of this one, but that is the biggest way, the biggest spit in the face to Steven Hillenburg by just making marine biologists evil. Like, this film depicts marine biologists as just bad people, and Steven Hillenburg is what? Like, why? Tsunami is the second worst villain of the year, by the way. Yeah, and that's the worst female villain ever. And I'm someone who likes female villains. I mean, you got you got Gorilla from Red One. You got Joy Wang, Joe Butabaki from Everything Everywhere All at Once. I mean, I like female villains, but I even defend Belle Weather for Zootopia. But Tsunami, sue me rather. How about Tsunami? More like Sue Saving Bikini Bottom, the Science Chicks film. Yeah. Oh yeah. Also, I forgot to mention one thing. This is the worst thing to ever come out of SpongeBob. I would rather watch One Course Meal over and over again than ever watch this film, because this makes One Course Meal look like the first SpongeBob movie in comparison to this. Yep, you heard me right. At number 2, Megamind versus the Doom Syndicate. Never has a film deserved more hate than this one. I mean, out of all the unanimously hated films that everybody hates, this one just feels like the most deserved of them all. Now, I understand why I don't see this one appear on people's worst movies of the year list that often. It's mainly because a lot of people did not watch this one. They skipped this one, and good for you. But everybody who's seen this film, they've all put this as their number one worst movie of the year. And I can totally see why. And even if it's my number 2 worst, I can fully understand that this is your number 1. Megamind versus the Doom Syndicate fucking sucks. This is a perfect example of how not to do a sequel. Especially a sequel to a masterpiece. I love Megamind. I mean, yes, I did overpraise it by calling it the best DreamWorks movie of 2010. That would now go to How to Train Your Dragon, but I still love Megamind, and it's not because of the memes. It's because of how clever it is, and it feels like a modern day version of Shrek, except Big Shrek Blue. But this film, like, everybody wanted a Megamind sequel. Like, everybody was begging their knees to DreamWorks. DreamWorks, please make a Megamind sequel. Make a Megamind sequel. But yeah, but because DreamWorks could not afford the money to make a Megamind sequel and it bombed, this film apparently turned out to be cheap, and we've got this disgrace, this graceful, disgusting sequel that should not even have been made. Megamind vs. the Doom Syndicate is just. It is how you piss off the fandom. This is the perfect example of how this is like a lesson on how to piss fandoms off. And yeah, I know it doesn't really count as a DreamWorks film, but at the very least, it's not even their worst film ever. That would still go to Trolls, the Trolls trilogy. Yeah, I take this any day over the Trolls films, but Megamind 2 is still like a abomination. I mean, the animation's ugly. The story is nonsense. It's basically just a setup to a shitty TV show, which I didn't see fully, but I know what happens to it. All thanks to Schaefer that's explaining it. And yeah, Keiko is annoying, just an annoying kid. But even then, Keiko is actually the best character in the film, which is embarrassing. Megamind himself is the worst character in the film. Oh my goodness, he is so annoying. He's like all whiny and oh, why don't I know how to do this? And how do I stop 4 because of what? Shoot them with the dehydration gun. It is the easiest solution. Okay, no, I'm not gonna make the shit first impression. It's really hard. It's really hard. But yeah, oh man. Oh, and also the Doom Syndicate as well. Ha 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 ha. There's so many of them, yet yeah, Hal would kick off their asses in 1 second. Now I will say this though, at least the Doom Syndicate, they're better than Tsunami from Saving Bikini Bottom. I'll give them that, but otherwise, yeah, damn it. And this is honestly my 3rd worst movie of all time. Yes, my 2nd worst film of the year. In my top 3. Wow, what an accomplishment for bad. Yeah, this would have been number 1 if not for the movie that broke me the most and made me lose faith in the Hollywood industry. A movie so bad that giving it an F tier is too generous. It deserves to be in the H tier. H for hell. And my number 1 worst movie of 2024 is Despicable Me 4. Never has a film made me more angry, more just embarrassed than Despicable Me 4. I'm not even gonna bother like going into detail on why this is number 1. I don't care. I don't give a shit. I mean, this is a movie, but I'll just say right now, this is why Illumination is the worst studio in the history of all studios. It's all because of this film. This is the embodiment of just bad Illumination and just why Illumination is terrible. This is a film that it is objectively bad. No matter how generous you may be, like seriously, if you like this movie, honestly, I am not gonna respect your opinion. I don't care. This is a movie that should be universally hated. This is a film. This is a perfect example of everything wrong with movies, especially with franchises that overstay their welcome. It is a film that really just made me almost hate movies to my core. It is just the worst in everything. The worst, maybe not the worst animation, I will say. Megamind 2 and Saving Bikini Bottom have worse ones, but you know what this has? The worst stories of all time. The worst characters of all, well, honestly, I think Poppy from Trolls is worse, but oh well. The worst story of all time, the worst humor of all time, the worst action of all time, the worst villain of all time with Maxime Lamarre. Like, everything about this film, like, nothing good about this movie. I can't even put into words how much I hate this film. So, I don't want to make this video go any longer. I'll just stop right here. And yes, guys, I have never been more proud to call Despicable Me 4 the number 1 worst movie of 2024 and the worst movie of all time. Oh, and also if you think that I'm over exaggerating about my hatred for Despicable Me 4, shut up, man. Shut up. Yeah, come on, kids deserve better than that. So also for my top 10 worst movies of 2024 list, what is your worst movie of the year? Who agrees with me that Despicable Me 4 is the worst one? Comment down below, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and stay tuned for my top 15, yes, top 15 favorite movies of 2024. So yeah, bye guys.